The most powerful natural detox food isn't what you think. It's cilantro.
Really? How does that work?
It binds to heavy metals, helping your body remove them.
Hey, Sarah, I was just reading this article about natural detox foods. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, really? What's it about?
What if I told you that one of the most powerful foods for helping your body naturally cleanse itself isn't some expensive supplement, isn't a trendy superfood from a remote rainforest, and isn't something sold in a fancy wellness store for $50 a bottle? In fact, there's a good chance you've walked past it hundreds of times in your grocery store without giving it a second glance. Most people see it as just another ordinary vegetable, but scientists have spent years studying its remarkable compounds. Athletes use it to improve performance. Nutrition experts praise it. And researchers continue discovering surprising ways it may support some of the body's most important systems, including your heart, your brain, your energy levels, and even the natural detoxification processes happening inside your body every single day. Here's the fascinating part. Your body already has an incredibly sophisticated detox system. Your liver, your kidneys, your digestive tract, they're working around the clock to keep you healthy. But what if one simple food could help support those systems naturally? And what if the food we're talking about is something many Americans either ignore or avoid completely because they don't like its appearance?
Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you may never look at this colorful root vegetable the same way again. And some of its most surprising benefits are still ahead. The food we're talking about is the humble beetroot, also known simply as beets. At first glance, there's nothing particularly glamorous about it. It's round, covered in dirt, deep red in color. And honestly, it doesn't look like something that could become the star of a health documentary. Yet hidden beneath that rough exterior lies an impressive collection of nutrients and plant compounds that continue to attract attention from scientists and nutrition researchers around the world.
For years, detox products have flooded the market. Juices, powders, teas, pills, cleanses, promises. But many health experts agree on one important point. The healthiest approach isn't forcing your body to detox. It's supporting the detox systems your body already has. And that's where beetroot enters the story. This vibrant root vegetable contains naturally occurring compounds that may help support liver function, circulation, digestion, and cellular health. But that's only the beginning. As we move through this journey together, you'll discover why some experts call beetroot one of nature's most underrated wellness foods. And later in this video, we'll reveal one mistake that causes many people to miss out on its biggest benefits. Long before beetroot became a health trend, it had already been part of human history for thousands of years. Its story begins in the Mediterranean region. Ancient civilizations cultivated early forms of beets centuries before modern medicine even existed. Interestingly, the earliest beets weren't grown primarily for their roots. People valued the leafy greens first. The roots came later. Over time, cultures across Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia began recognizing the plant's unique qualities. Ancient healers used beetroot in various traditional practices. While they didn't have modern laboratories, they observed something important. People who regularly consumed nutrient-rich plant foods often seemed healthier and more resilient. Fast forward to today. Scientists can finally examine these foods under microscopes, and what they found inside beetroot is remarkable. One group of compounds in particular caught researchers' attention. They're called betalains. These natural pigments are responsible for beetroot's rich red color, but they do much more than provide color. Researchers have been investigating their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties for years, which raises an interesting question. Could the very pigment that stains your cutting board
Also be one of the reasons beetroot has earned its reputation as a nutritional powerhouse. We're just getting started. Because next, we're going inside your body to see why beetroot's nutrients may matter more than most people realize. Before we talk about benefits, we need to clear up one of the biggest misconceptions in modern wellness. Many people imagine detoxification as something you do for a few days. A juice cleanse, a special tea, a weekend reset. But the reality is far more fascinating. Your body is detoxifying itself every second of every day. Right now, as you're watching this video, your liver is processing compounds. Your kidneys are filtering waste. Your digestive system is helping remove unwanted substances. Your body is performing one of the most complex biological balancing acts imaginable. The goal isn't to replace these systems. The goal is to support them. And that's exactly why foods like beetroot have attracted scientific interest. They contain nutrients, antioxidants, fiber, and plant compounds that may help support overall wellness and normal bodily functions. Think of it this way. You wouldn't expect your car to run smoothly without proper maintenance. The same idea applies to your body. And in the next section,
you'll discover the first major benefit that has made beetroot famous among both health enthusiasts and elite athletes. What happens when this simple vegetable starts influencing blood flow throughout the body? The answer may surprise you.
Imagine for a moment a network of nearly 60,000 miles of blood vessels running through your body. That's enough to circle the Earth more than twice. Every second of your life, this incredible system delivers oxygen and nutrients to every organ, tissue, and cell. And at the center of it all is your heart. The challenge is that modern lifestyles can place enormous stress on this system. Long hours sitting, processed foods, chronic stress, poor sleep. Over time, these factors may affect cardiovascular health. This is where beetroot becomes especially interesting. Beets naturally contain dietary nitrates. Now, don't let that word scare you.
These are naturally occurring compounds found in vegetables. Inside the body, dietary nitrates can be converted into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide plays a key role in helping blood vessels relax and function efficiently. Think of it like widening a busy highway. Traffic flows more smoothly. Movement becomes easier. The entire system works more efficiently. Researchers have explored how nitrate-rich vegetables may support healthy circulation and cardiovascular function as part of a balanced diet. And here's what's fascinating. Many people spend years searching for complex solutions,
while overlooking simple foods that have quietly supported human health for generations. But the heart isn't the only organ that benefits from healthy circulation, because the next organ on our list may be even more surprising: your brain. What if one of the most important factors affecting mental clarity isn't what happens inside your brain, but what reaches it? Your brain represents only a small percentage of your body weight, yet it consumes an enormous amount of oxygen and energy. Every thought, every memory, every decision depends on a steady supply of blood and nutrients. Scientists have explored whether nitrate-rich vegetables like beetroot may help support blood flow to certain areas of the brain. This has sparked growing interest among researchers studying healthy aging. Because, as we age, maintaining cognitive health becomes increasingly important. We've all experienced those moments. Walking into a room and forgetting why, misplacing keys, struggling to recall a familiar name. While occasional forgetfulness is normal, many people are searching for lifestyle habits that support long-term brain health, and nutrition plays a major role. Beetroot isn't a miracle food, but it contains nutrients and compounds that fit beautifully into a brain-supportive lifestyle. Here's the exciting part. Some of the same mechanisms that support circulation may also help support mental performance. Which brings us to another benefit that has made beetroot popular among athletes around the world: energy. But not the kind that comes from caffeine.
Let's be honest. Most people are tired. Not occasionally tired, chronically tired. Millions of Americans wake up exhausted, rely on caffeine, push through the day, then crash later, and repeat the cycle tomorrow. But what if energy isn't always about stimulation? What if it's about efficiency? This is one reason beetroot has attracted attention in the athletic world. Researchers have studied how dietary nitrates may influence the body's use of oxygen during physical activity. The idea is fascinating. When the body can utilize oxygen more efficiently, physical tasks may feel less demanding.
That's one reason endurance athletes often include beet products in their nutrition strategies. Runners, cyclists, triathletes, professional competitors. Not because beetroot is magic, but because optimizing circulation and oxygen delivery matters. Even if you're not an athlete, think about daily life. Walking upstairs, playing with grandchildren, gardening, hiking, traveling. Having enough energy to enjoy life matters. And sometimes the most powerful health habits don't come from a bottle. They come from foods growing quietly in the ground. But energy isn't the only thing influenced by circulation. Let's talk about something millions of people monitor every day.
Blood pressure. Here's a question. What if one number could reveal important clues about your long-term health? For many people, that number is blood pressure. High blood pressure often develops quietly, without obvious symptoms, which is why it's sometimes called a silent concern. Many factors influence healthy blood pressure: physical activity, weight management, stress levels, sleep quality, and nutrition. Researchers have spent years studying how nitrate-rich vegetables may support healthy blood pressure levels already within a normal range. Again, nitric oxide appears to be part of the story.
When blood vessels function efficiently, circulation can operate more smoothly. That's one reason dietary patterns rich in vegetables consistently appear in recommendations for heart health. And beetroot often stands out because of its naturally high nitrate content. What's remarkable is how often the healthiest strategies are also the simplest. Eat more whole foods, move your body, sleep well, manage stress, stay hydrated, and include nutrient-dense vegetables. No miracle required, just consistency. But here's where things get even more interesting. Because one of beetroot's greatest strengths isn't what it adds to the body, it's what it helps the body do naturally. And that takes us back to the topic that started this entire video: detoxification. In the next section, you'll discover why scientists became fascinated with the deep red pigments inside beetroot, and how those compounds may help support your body's natural defense systems in ways most people never realize. Remember those vivid red pigments we mentioned earlier? The ones that make beetroot look almost too colorful to be real. Those pigments are one of the reasons scientists became so interested in this humble vegetable. They're called betalains. And while most people only notice the color, researchers have spent years studying what these compounds may do inside the body. Here's something many people don't realize. Every day, your body is exposed to challenges: pollution, stress, processed foods, lack of sleep. Even normal metabolism creates byproducts that your body must manage. Thankfully, your body comes equipped with powerful defense systems.
One of the most important is your liver. The liver performs hundreds of essential functions: filtering, processing, balancing, protecting, day and night, without breaks, without vacations, without ever asking for recognition. And that's exactly why nutrition experts emphasize supporting liver health through healthy lifestyle habits.
Beetroot contains compounds that researchers continue to explore for their role in supporting the body's natural detoxification pathways. Not by forcing detoxification, not by flushing toxins overnight, but by helping nourish systems that already know how to do their jobs. And that's a crucial distinction. Real health rarely comes from extreme solutions. More often, it comes from supporting the body's incredible built-in intelligence. But betalains aren't the only reason beetroot stands out, because their antioxidant power may influence something connected to nearly every aspect of aging: inflammation. Imagine a small fire burning inside a house. A controlled fire can be useful, but if it grows unchecked, damage begins. Many researchers describe chronic inflammation in a similar way. Inflammation itself isn't bad. In fact, it's essential. It's part of your body's natural defense system. The problem occurs when inflammation becomes persistent.
When the body remains in a constant state of stress over years, that burden may influence overall health and well-being. This is one reason nutrition experts encourage diets rich in colorful fruits and vegetables. Nature often places protective compounds in vibrant foods, and beetroot is no exception. Its betalains and antioxidants have attracted scientific attention because of their potential role in supporting the body's response to oxidative stress. Think about it. The brighter the color, the more nature may be signaling something valuable. Deep blueberries, dark leafy greens, rich purple cabbage, brilliant red beets. These foods aren't colorful by accident.
They're carrying compounds that help plants survive, and many of those same compounds may offer benefits when included in a healthy human diet. But there is another benefit that millions of people experience much more directly, and it starts in the gut. Let's talk about something most people don't think about enough: fiber. It's not flashy. It's not trendy. It doesn't have a celebrity spokesperson. Yet nutrition experts consistently describe fiber as one of the most important nutrients for long-term health. And most Americans aren't getting enough of it. This is where beetroot quietly shines. Beets provide dietary fiber that helps support digestive health. But fiber does much more than help keep things moving. It feeds beneficial bacteria living inside your gut. And scientists are learning more every year about how important those microbes really are. Your gut microbiome influences digestion, immune function, metabolism, and potentially even mood. In other words, taking care of your gut may impact far more than your stomach. When fiber reaches the large intestine, beneficial bacteria can use it as fuel. It's almost like feeding an entire hidden ecosystem living inside your body. And when that ecosystem thrives, many people notice positive changes in overall wellness. But digestive health isn't the only area where beetroot may provide support. Because the next benefit is something millions of people struggle with every day: maintaining a healthy weight. Here's one of the biggest myths in nutrition. People think successful weight management is about eating less. In reality, it's often about eating smarter, foods that provide satisfaction, nutrients, fiber, and fewer highly processed ingredients. Beets fit surprisingly well into that picture. They're naturally low in calories while providing fiber and important nutrients. That combination can help create a feeling of fullness and satisfaction. When people build meals around nutrient-dense foods, they're often less tempted by ultra-processed snacks later. No food can magically melt away body fat, but healthy eating patterns add up over time. Small decisions, repeated daily, eventually create major results. And speaking of results, let's look at a real-world story that demonstrates how simple dietary changes can sometimes make a meaningful difference.
Sarah, a 54-year-old teacher from Ohio, wasn't looking for a miracle. She was simply tired, low energy, poor eating habits, not enough vegetables, not enough movement. She decided to make one small change. Every morning, she started adding more colorful vegetables to her meals, including beetroot several times each week. A few months later, she noticed something interesting. She felt more energized. She was eating fewer processed snacks. She felt more motivated to stay active. Now, was beetroot solely responsible? Of course not. But it became part of a larger lifestyle transformation. And that's an important lesson.
The most powerful health changes rarely come from one dramatic action. They come from dozens of small choices repeated consistently. And what we're about to discuss next may be the most surprising benefit yet. Because researchers are now exploring how foods like beetroot may influence one of the biggest concerns people have about getting older: aging itself. When most people hear the word anti-aging, they immediately think about wrinkles, creams, serums, cosmetic treatments. But aging goes far deeper than what we see in the mirror. True healthy aging is about maintaining energy, mobility, mental sharpness, independence, and quality of life.
The real question isn't, how can I look younger? It's, how can I feel stronger and healthier as I get older? Researchers have spent decades studying the relationship between nutrition and healthy aging. Again and again, one pattern keeps appearing. People who consume more nutrient-rich plant foods tend to support long-term wellness more effectively than those who rely heavily on ultra-processed diets. Beetroot fits beautifully into this pattern. Its antioxidants help support the body's defenses against oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as natural wear and tear occurring inside the body over time.
While it cannot be eliminated completely, healthy lifestyle habits may help the body manage it more effectively. And here's something fascinating. Many of the world's healthiest aging populations don't rely on miracle supplements. Instead, they consistently consume colorful whole foods year after year. Small habits, repeated daily, creating extraordinary results over decades. But perhaps one of the most visible places nutrition shows up is your skin. And what happens next might surprise you.
Walk through any beauty store and you'll find thousands of products promising radiant skin. Yet many dermatologists agree on a simple truth. Healthy skin often begins from the inside. Hydration matters. Sleep matters. Stress management matters. And nutrition matters. A lot. The nutrients found in vegetables like beetroot contribute to overall wellness that may be reflected in skin appearance. Healthy circulation helps deliver oxygen and nutrients throughout the body, including the skin. Meanwhile, antioxidants help support the body's natural protective systems. Of course, no vegetable can erase aging overnight. But healthy skin isn't about perfection.
It's about supporting the body from within. And when people consistently nourish themselves with whole foods, the results often become visible over time. But your skin isn't the only system that depends on proper nourishment. The next benefit affects every organ in your body, your immune system. Imagine an army working around the clock, never sleeping, never taking a day off, always protecting you. That's your immune system. Every day, it performs countless tasks you never notice: identifying threats, repairing damage, maintaining balance. The immune system doesn't depend on one nutrient or one food. It depends on an overall healthy lifestyle.
Nutrition is one important piece of that puzzle. Vegetables like beetroot contribute vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds that support overall health. And when combined with quality sleep, physical activity, hydration, and stress management, those benefits become even more powerful.
because health isn't built by one hero, it's built by teamwork. And speaking of teamwork, let's talk about another concern affecting millions of Americans: blood sugar balance. Many people avoid beets because they assume they're too sweet. And while beets do contain natural sugars, the full story is much more interesting.
Whole beets also provide fiber and nutrients that contribute to a balanced dietary pattern. The key difference is this: natural foods come packaged with beneficial compounds. Highly processed foods often do not. This is why nutrition experts encourage looking at the entire food rather than focusing on a single number. Context matters. Portion size matters. Overall diet matters. And when beets are consumed as part of balanced meals, they can absolutely fit into healthy eating patterns for many individuals. But now we're approaching a benefit few people expect, because it doesn't happen during the day. It happens while you're sleeping.
Have you ever noticed how everything feels harder after a bad night of sleep? Your mood, your energy, your focus, even your food choices. Sleep affects nearly every aspect of health. While beetroot is not a sleep aid, healthy nutrition habits can contribute to overall well-being that supports better rest. Many people who transition from heavily processed diets toward more nutrient-dense foods report improvements in how they feel throughout the day. And often, better days lead to better nights. Which brings us to another powerful real-life story. One that started with a simple trip to the grocery store. Michael was 61 years old, recently retired.
And feeling older than he expected. Not because of his age, but because of his habits. Too much fast food, too little movement, too many years of putting health on hold. One day, his doctor encouraged him to focus on basics: more vegetables, more walking, more consistency, less processed food. Michael started experimenting with colorful foods he had rarely eaten before. One of them was beetroot. At first, he didn't even like the taste. But he kept going. Weeks turned into months. Gradually, healthy eating became easier. Walking became a habit. Energy improved. He felt more engaged with life. Again, beetroot wasn't the magic solution. The transformation came from lifestyle change. But beetroot became one of the small daily habits that helped support that change. And that's what makes this story powerful. Because real health isn't about perfection, it's about direction. And in the next section, we're going to uncover some surprising myths that prevent many people from enjoying the benefits of beetroot, including one myth that may have caused you to avoid it your entire life. Let's clear up some myths. Because when a food becomes popular, misinformation often follows. Myth number 1. Beetroot detoxifies your body by itself. Not exactly. Your body already has detoxification systems. Your liver, kidneys, digestive tract, and other organs are doing the heavy lifting. What beetroot may do is support overall health through nutrients, fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds. That's very different from claiming it performs miracles. Myth number 2. If I drink beet juice once, I'll instantly feel different. Unfortunately, that's not how nutrition works. The human body responds best to consistency. Small, healthy habits repeated over weeks, months, and years. Not overnight fixes. Myth number 3. Healthy foods only work if they're expensive. Some of the most sweet potatoes, leafy greens, and yes, beetroot. Sometimes the foods with the biggest marketing budgets receive the most attention. Meanwhile, simple, whole foods quietly continue delivering value generation after generation. But there is one surprising mistake that prevents many people from getting the most from beetroot, and chances are you've seen it before. One common mistake is assuming every healthy food must be consumed in exactly one way.
Some people force themselves to drink large amounts of beet juice. Others try beetroot once, dislike it, and never touch it again. But nutrition isn't all or nothing. Beetroot can be enjoyed roasted, steamed, added to salads, blended into smoothies, mixed into soups, even incorporated into grain bowls. The best preparation method is often the one you'll actually continue eating, because consistency beats perfection every single time. And here's something many viewers don't know. The next benefit isn't about the beet itself. It's about what you eat alongside it. Nutrition works like an orchestra. Foods often perform better together than alone. For example, pairing beetroot with leafy greens creates a meal rich in diverse nutrients. Adding citrus fruits may complement the meal with vitamin C. Combining beetroot with healthy fats, such as olive oil, nuts, or seeds, can create a more satisfying eating experience. The goal isn't finding a magic combination. The goal is creating balanced meals built around whole foods. And when you consistently do that, your body often rewards you, not overnight, but over time. Now let's answer one of the most common questions people ask. Should you choose beet juice or whole beets? The answer may surprise you. The truth is, both have advantages. Beet juice is convenient, it's quick, and it's popular among athletes. Whole beets, however, provide something many people desperately need more of: fiber. And as we've discussed earlier, fiber supports digestive health, gut health, and overall wellness. For many people, whole beets may offer a more complete nutritional package. That doesn't mean beet juice is bad. It simply means each option serves a different purpose. The best choice often depends on your goals, preferences, and overall diet. But before we move on, there's one fascinating fact almost nobody talks about, and once you hear it, you'll never forget it. Have you ever heard someone say they ate beets and later noticed a reddish color in the toilet? For some people, this can be alarming, but in many cases, it may simply be something called beeturia, a harmless phenomenon where pigments from beetroot pass through the body. Not everyone experiences it, but those who do often remember it forever. Imagine discovering that after eating a large beet salad. It can certainly be surprising. Yet it's another reminder of just how vibrant and unique this vegetable truly is. And now, we're approaching the most important part of this entire video. Because knowing the benefits means nothing if you don't know how to apply them in real life.
You don't need a radical detox. You don't need expensive powders. You don't need extreme cleanses. What you need is consistency. A little more movement, a little more sleep, a little less processed food, and perhaps a little more color on your plate. Because sometimes the most powerful health transformations begin with the smallest decisions. And in the final chapter of this video, we'll reveal a practical step-by-step strategy for incorporating beetroot into your routine, along with one final lesson about longevity that could completely change the way you think about health forever.
At this point, you might be wondering, okay, beetroot sounds impressive, but how do I actually start? The answer is simple. Don't try to change everything overnight. Instead, try a 7-day experiment. Not a detox, not a cleanse, just an awareness challenge. Day 1. Add a few slices of roasted beetroot to your lunch. Day 2. Try a small beet smoothie mixed with berries. Day 3. Add beets to a salad. Day 4. Pair beetroot with leafy greens and a healthy protein. Day 5. Experiment with homemade beet soup. Day 6. Include beets in a grain bowl with vegetables. Day 7. Choose your favorite version and enjoy it again. That's it.
No strict rules. No unrealistic expectations. Just curiosity. Because one of the greatest health discoveries people make is this. Many healthy foods they thought they disliked, they simply hadn't prepared properly before. And during that week, pay attention. Not obsessively, just mindfully. How do you feel? How satisfied are your meals? Are you eating more vegetables overall? Are healthier choices becoming easier? Because sometimes a single positive habit becomes the gateway to many others. And that's where real transformation begins. One of the most common questions is, when should I eat beetroot? The truth is, there isn't one perfect time for everyone.
But there are a few practical approaches. Some people enjoy beetroot at lunch because it's an easy way to add vegetables to the middle of the day. Others include it in dinner salads or side dishes. Athletes often consume beet-containing foods before training sessions because of the growing interest in dietary nitrates and exercise performance. But here's the bigger lesson. The best time to eat healthy foods is the time you'll consistently eat them. A perfect plan followed for 3 days isn't nearly as powerful as a simple plan followed for 3 years. Health rewards consistency, not perfection.
And that's a lesson worth remembering, far beyond beetroot itself. Because the next truth may be the most important message in this entire documentary. When scientists study people who live long, healthy lives, they rarely find one miracle food. They rarely find one secret supplement, and they almost never find one magical shortcut. Instead, they find patterns, daily movement, strong relationships, purpose, quality sleep, stress management, and diets rich in whole foods, over and over again, across different cultures, across different countries, across different generations. The same message appears. Health is built, not bought.
It's created through small actions repeated thousands of times. That's why beetroot matters. Not because it's magic, but because it represents something bigger. A return to simple nutrition. A return to real food. A reminder that extraordinary health often begins with ordinary choices. The vegetable sitting quietly on a grocery store shelf may never become a social media sensation. But your body doesn't care about trends. Your body cares about nourishment, consistency, balance, and time.
Think about where you'll be 10 years from now. The choices you make today are helping shape that future version of yourself. Not tomorrow, not next week, years from now. The meals you eat, the walks you take, the sleep you prioritize, the stress you manage, the vegetables you choose. Each decision may seem small, almost invisible. Yet those tiny actions compound over time, much like interest in a savings account, except the investment is your health, your energy, your freedom, your future. And perhaps that's the most beautiful lesson of all. You don't need perfection to improve your health. You simply need a willingness to start. One meal, one walk, one healthier choice at a time. Because the goal isn't merely adding years to life, it's adding life to those years. So, did beetroot turn out to be the food you expected? Probably not. And that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. A humble root vegetable, overlooked by many, yet packed with nutrients, fiber, antioxidants, and compounds that continue to attract attention from researchers around the world. If you learned something valuable today, let us know in the comments. Have you ever tried beetroot? And what's one healthy habit you're committed to improving this week? Your answer might inspire someone else watching.
If you enjoyed this documentary, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more evidence-informed health, longevity, nutrition, and wellness content designed to help you live a stronger, healthier life. And remember, the world's most powerful health tools are often hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching. Take care of your body. Stay curious, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.